Hi everybody again, this is teacher Oscar. For this week we're going to focus our work on two specific things related to the TOEIC test. Specifically, these two things take place minutes before you start answering your questions, and they are the TOEIC questionnaire and the official answer sheet. We're going to start right now with the official answer sheet. This is the way the answer sheet looks like. So there are different sections, and this one here is the front part of the answer sheet, and this one here is the rear part of the answer sheet. We're going to like get some instructions for how filling each one of these sections of the answer sheet. And let's start by saying this, and that is that for filling this answer sheet, you only need pencil, eraser, and a sharpener. Okay, that's it. For taking the TOEIC test, you don't need a pen, you don't need liquid paper, you just need a pencil, an eraser, and a sharpener. This is section 1, and in section 1 there are two big sections of columns. So this is the left section of columns in which you have to write your last names, and also you have to fill some circles. I'll let you know what happens here. And on the right side of columns, we have the section for writing down your names. So basically, this is what you have to do. Let's suppose that your last names are Ureña Agüero. So you have to write down with your pencil your last names. And on this other section, as you can see, there are two clearly separated sections. And on the right section, you have to write down your names. Okay? Now, something that you have to take into account is that between your last names and between your names, you have to leave a space. Let's suppose that your last name is De La O. So after de, you have to leave a space. La space o. And what happens if your last names are very long? So over here, I want you to take a look at the thick black line over here. You have to stop writing your last name, so you can't continue into the section of names. All right, what is next? Now, let's suppose, as you can see here, that the first last name is Ureña. In the case of the letter U, well, you have to find where the U is in the column respective to that letter. Or what about if the second letter is R? Well, this is what you have to do. You have to fill with your pen the circle corresponding to the letters. And basically, that's what you have to do with all your letters. You have to fill the corresponding circle of the letters. Okay, what about these letters that have special characters such as ñ, the w, uh, the I with the stress and the E with the stress? Well, those special characters like the tilde is the way you say virgulilla, which is the techito of the ñ. So the virgulilla or the tilde, well, you have to identify where it is in the upper section, and you have to fill the circle. The same for the diatheses. You have to fill it. The same for the accent mark there for the I, and the same thing for the E. So basically, that's what you have to do in this section. All right. I hope it's clear. Now, let's move on to section number 2, where it says sex. If you are a man, if you're masculine, well, you have to fill the M. Or what about if you're a woman? Well, you have to fill letter F. Section 3, country code. Well, if you thought that the country code is 506, well, you are wrong. In the case of the TOEIC test, the code is going to be 130. Okay, that is the code for Costa Rica for the TOEIC test. Okay, for the TOEIC specifically. We know that 506 is the country code for Costa Rica. But in the case of TOEIC, it's 130. And you have to write the 130 there, and you have to fill the circles corresponding to that number. The following section is language code, which is 478, which is the one for Spanish. All right? So write the numbers for the language code, which is 478, and fill the corresponding circles for that number. The following section is identification number. You have to start on the left side. of the section. But let me tell you that you do not only include here the identification number, also the passport or the residential citizen ID. All right. So from left to right, you have to write down your ID number. Okay. And you can't leave any blanks, and you have to include all the zeros, the corresponding zeros, like this one. Okay. This is like a zero that is filling our ID numbers here in Costa Rica. Okay. So you have to know this. You have to include the zero there. And of course, you have to fill the corresponding circles for those numbers. Got it? Okay. And what about the other blanks? Well, as I told you, or as the name says, you have to leave them blank. Okay. Forget about the extra other spaces here that, you know, they're just here in case of long ID numbers. Date of birth. Let's suppose that you were born on September the 5th, 2002, where it says month here. Well, you have to start with the month, okay? You have to state the 05, and then where it says, oh, sorry, the month is September 09. The day is 05, and the year, well, it's 2002, all right? So basically, uh, in the case of this month, which is September, yes, 9 is okay, but also you have to include this 0 before the 9 and this 0 before number 5, which is the day. And you have to fill the corresponding circles for those numbers. In the case of sections 7, 8, and 9, these are the instructions. In the case of 7, well, your job is student, the organization, well, where do you study? At CTP Don Bosco. And your city is Alajuelita. In the case of number 8, the testing location, probably it's going to be CTP Don Bosco, and the city is going to be Alajuelita. Okay, there is something that you have to know about this. I'm showing this picture, which is a cover page for the booklet of a TOEFL test. This is not TOEIC, but it's almost the same thing since both tests, TOEFL and TOEIC, they belong to ETS. Okay? Here, you may see the test book serial number near the barcode. So that number that is there, 0018191, is the one that you have to include there. So the serial number is something that you find on the cover page of the TOEIC booklet. Okay? And I want you to focus your attention on this like word of advice or warning that says, do not break the seal until you are told so. So I don't know, it's like it's barely seen, but over here there is a sticker that is working as a seal for not opening the booklet. When the administrator tells you like it's time for opening the booklet, okay, you just break it, break the seal, and then you are going to be able to search over the pages of your booklet. Okay? Number 10, it says group code. Well, in the case of this one, there is not a specific number. You have to wait for the administrator to tell you the group code. And again, it's stated from left to right. Okay? And once you have written down the number of your group, you have to fill the circles. The question and responses. This section, I'm going to leave it for our next video. Section number 12, I've never used this section. The specific things about this section on the internet, well, they are scarce. There is not much information, but don't worry, it's not really relevant. And usually it's left blank. Nobody uses it. And in the case of question 13, well, this is like one that is kind of tricky. You have to, well, I'll read it for you. It says there, 13, signature and date. And it says, please copy the statement below, do not print, and sign your name as you would an official document. Okay? So this is something, or this phrase over there is something that you have to write down on the lines that are below that phrase. So basically you have to do like copy the same thing. I hereby agree to the conditions set forth online at www.ets.org/TOEIC and/or examinee handbook and certify that I am the person whose name appears on this answer sheet. Where it says signature, well, if you are under 18, you have to write down your name, okay? Your regular name in print. And if you are above 18 or if you are 18, you have to make your signature. Got it? Where it says date? Well, June the 6th is the date I am uh, creating or making this video. All right? So basically, that was all the information about the TOEIC official or the official TOEIC answer sheet. So, see you next time in our next video.